I guess how's it feel to be, back out running around again? Are you feeling a little more healthy and ready to go against Philly?
Yeah, it was good to get 2 good weeks of training and not push too hard in the games, and throw me back into the mix. I think it was smart to get, a few good trainings and fitness sessions under the belt, and obviously the reserve game helped, and then a couple days recovery, but now back in the mix and looking to push because we got 3 games in 7 days.
We've seen you as kind of an all-out player when you're out there. Have you kind of seen during this recovery how sometimes that can be a detriment if you're trying to get 100%, but you don't really know any other way to play than play hard?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, whenever you have an injury and you start to feel good, you push yourself a little bit too hard, and I think that we were smart about it this time. But yeah, I think it translates to the game a little bit. I think you learn a little bit of patience, but if it happens when you come on the field and there's a 70-yard ball into space, you got to go. There's no other option. So from then on, it's kind of catching your breath a little bit, and it's difficult. So, but for me, I think it's always been easier to start and play 90 minutes than it is to come into a game 30 minutes remaining, especially the high tempo game of how we play. It's run and gun for that 30 minutes. So I guess it's a learned process, coming off the bench and trying to make a difference. But my focus remains I want to break the starting 11, and that won't change.
What are the feelings when in these games you are coming off the bench, but the team's winning, and usually winning teams don't make a lot of changes?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and that's something that obviously the coach has talked about. But again, with 3 games in 7 days traveling across the country, there's going to be changes. It's there's obviously guys that can push those 3 and get 90 minutes every game. But I think when you look at our style of play, some attacking guys are going to need a breather here and there. So I'm not sure how we're going to rotate if we rotate, but if my number gets called, then I'm ready to go.
Is this team playing at a higher pace than previous years?
I don't know if it's. I've always looked at our team as a good counterattacking team. When I think years back, I always think that we like to turn teams around. We like to get forward, especially at home. We like to push the envelope and take chances, take risks. I just think that things are clicking right now. And normally, I think you saw us as a team that uses the outsides a little bit more. And I think now we're going up the center of the park. So I think it changes the dynamic a little bit. For 4 or 5 years, we had not a specific style of play, but we like to use the wings, and I think that's how teams played against us. But now we're going up the spine, and I think it creates danger all over the field when you can do that. So, I still think it's the same tempo, but I think we're a little bit more effective right now, and I think we're getting more guys involved too. And it's not just the guys on the outside getting a lot of touches; it's guys in the middle of the park too. So being able to break teams down multiple ways is what we've been doing at training, like today, and we hope that translates into the game.
We've talked about the fitness of this team throughout the years. How much does that help going into a week like you guys have coming up?
Yeah, well, this will be the first test. That midweek game is definitely going to push the envelope. But we've got a number of guys who are licking their chops. And, if guys don't start that have been starting, then, they're going to be ready to go when their number does get called. So I think it provides a good atmosphere at training. And, when things are going well, it's a little bit more easy to say, all right, maybe I don't start this game, but I come off the bench and I'm going to start the next one, whatever it may be. And it's easier for guys to swallow because we are getting results. So just got to keep that up and keep guys happy. And but it's a good group of guys, and I think everybody's here for the right reasons. And most importantly, we all want to win games.
Going back to the different style of play for this team this season, how is that going to change your role, or will it?
Yeah, I think. At the start of the season, I found myself in the middle of the park, but that combination with Pineda and Ozzie has, paid dividends. So, if I find myself on the outside, then it's just building a partnership with DeAndre, obviously with Clint and Oba as well. So, I've played a number of positions, so I don't think that things really change. Whatever position I go into is, I'm going to play it as an outside winger, I'm going to play it as a center midfielder, whatever it may be. So, from my perspective, nothing changes.
In 2 weeks, we expect you to be with the national team. Just 45 minutes in a reserve game at right back, you think that'll make it easier than having not played that position for a couple months?
No, I mean, obviously, I guess it helps a little bit. You slide in there, and once you, for me, it's always been a case if I play center midfield, within the first 10, 15 minutes, you play like a center midfielder. You play on the outside, you play like an outside mid. So that's something that hasn't been a problem. But obviously, it's good to get reps and hoping, stay healthy and get good performances and fit enough to go into that camp and make a difference if your number gets called. So, right now my focus remains, getting 90 minutes under my belt here, whether it's at right mid, center mid, wherever it may be. That's kind of where my focus is.